The city of LA is home to artists who speak in their own language, not literally, but in the way that they create. Today we're going to talk about two artists, Drakeo the Ruler, a rapper, and Retna, a visual artist. Let's get into it. Nick vs. the Art World, thank you for joining me. This is my first YouTube video. I've been doing the Reels and the TikToks, and this one I just knew that this is more of a passion project. So I knew I would want to break this one down and spend a little bit more time on it. I live in New York, but I always used to think LA was like the dream. And now all the artists, musicians, fine artists, everyone that I like is from LA. And when I'm out there, I enjoy my time, but for some reason I've just never felt inclined to live there. But literally, all the music I listen to, Blue Bucks Clan, Drakeo the Ruler, all those rappers, that whole scene out there, it's just, you can't help but gravitate to it. And I think a lot of it stems from the way that they play with words. They use words like a tool to build worlds. You hear words from Drakeo the Ruler like Uchis and mud walking, flu flamming, Pippi Longstocking. There's no possible way you can listen to a Drakeo the Ruler song and understand every single lyric. There's so much slang and so many different terminologies in there. He created his own vocabulary. He has a million references for money. He also has a million different references for weapons. Really documenting his life of running up in houses and taking things that aren't his. So not only does he have a cool imagery to him and the songs are catchy, the beats are good, he's got a real solid identity because he built it off of his wordplay. He weaves in these words that he's pioneered and made a part of the language. When you listen to his song, you're going to learn how he talks. Flip to the other side and you have visual artist Retna. I keep saying Retna is my favorite artist, and I have his book up here. I absolutely love Retna. I actually just flew out to Miami this summer to go see his latest gallery show because even though I don't have 150 bands to drop on the work, I just love to see it. I have a little pamphlet here actually from the Miami show. But he just kind of creates his own language, the same way that Drakeo the Ruler is creating his own language with words. Retna's done it with symbols. So from wordplay to writing and calligraphy and hand style, which I think is pretty sweet. He came up in the graffiti scene and he made a name for himself in that scene when he was younger. And then he started to dive into these murals and to really develop his own visual language. So you'll see he's got these big strokes of paint where it's kind of this hieroglyphic inspired language. It pulls from many different actual languages, but he's formed his own. He's taken a lot of inspirations and compiled them to create his own signature Retna language. Plenty of people have tried to decode it. There's pictures online where people try to say, this means A, this means B. Me personally, I don't think it's that simple to where every time he does a certain symbol, it means A, B. I don't think you can just put the Rosetta Stone to it and figure it out. I think it's on some whole next world shit. But regardless, when you look at them, you get a feeling and you see a visual pattern. You might not look at it and be able to read it the same way you would be able to read a text. Here's another little flyer I have laying around. This is from my gallery. But the same way you can read this and say grand opening show. It's okay, grand, big opening, something's new. You know what that means. And you're not getting that same information when you look at a Retna piece, but it's about the visual appeal. If I show it to you on one of these massive Los Angeles buildings he's done it on, you can understand why that's impressive. If I show it to you on a canvas in a gallery, you can also start to understand how it has a place in fine art. I think that by creating his own visual language and staying true to himself, he has this brand of authenticity. And when he paints in this language, it's not bullshit. He is a person who has a lot to say. And he's been doing this for decades. And he's communicating it through this language that pretty much only he can understand. Imagine sitting with him and having him tell you this is what this one says. That would be crazy. But you don't need that to appreciate it. I don't have to understand every lyric in a Drakeo the Ruler song. I don't have to understand what I'm reading when I look at Retna work, but I know that I'm attracted to both of them. They both have an appeal. They both built a very, very, very strong identity. I don't know why artists from Los Angeles gravitate towards this form of expression so much, language. Me personally, I would say that LA is a city that's very bilingual, Spanish and English, and amidst other cultures. but I think that there's perhaps always been this huge integration of Mexican culture in LA, and that probably informs the artist there to understand that language can be this like tool for communication outside of just taking it at surface level, where you learn this word means this and that's it. I think that's why it has bred this generation of artists who enjoy experimenting with language and seeing what you can do with it. Let me know what you think. I kind of noticed this connection the other day because Drakeo the Ruler is one of my favorite rappers and Retna is one of my favorite visual artists. And I was like, wait, they both just like play with language. So I just wanted to like put that out there and see what you guys think, if you think anything about it. Nick vs. the Art World signing off. This is my first video, so I really appreciate you tuning in. I'll try and keep it up with the long format stuff. I enjoy doing the short format, like the gallery tours and the artist interviews and stuff like that. It's just like quick and more like run and gun. It's fun, but I'm gonna try and do this because it feels more in depth. Maybe I'll learn something and you'll learn something. Later.